Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to cover the hot topic for the Race to 105 event that's starting in just actually a few hours. I did make a video breaking this down in terms of what's going to be free-to-play achievable. I'll link it below for the actual chart, guys, but I do want to quickly cover this because for the purpose of this video, see this as a part 2 in terms of the characters and teams that we're going to be looking at, but as well some tips and tricks as this event is getting ready to be released here, right? And again, we don't really know the duration of how long this event's going to be for, but remember, this is really meant for additional resources and materials. There's an opportunity here for the Omega red stars for the Phoenix Force variant. So I mean, if that doesn't matter to you and you don't really care for it, that's okay, because essentially as time progresses here, as we level up some characters to be adding points to this milestone, there's gonna be an opportunity to obviously take advantage of the opportunity, and it's free, right? If you're obviously, this is gonna be only applicable for those of you that are commander level 100 already, or are gonna be level 100 in the next month or so, assuming that that's how long the event's gonna take. But it goes without saying, guys, the free-to-play achievable target for us over the span of the next month or so, I believe, is going to be a 2 red or a 3 red of Omega red. So I mean, leave that with, you know, however you want to push for that, how hard you want to put your resources into that. Just be mindful of the gold and training resources. But having said that, there's at least a couple of things that are really obvious in terms of what to invest in. And as well, this is actually going to be a nod to my video that I made actually a week ago in regards to the top 10 teams that you should be focusing on to get essentially 80-90% of the content in the game unlocked, right? There's going to be a big focus on them, as well as the focus on the meta that we currently have right now, and as well as your game priorities that matter. But it goes without saying, I mean, without a doubt, I think the 6 characters I've kind of put a heart here, you know, Odin, Mephisto, Super Skrull, Apocalypse, Black Knight, Old Man Logan, they are essential. They're going to be giving you a ton of value in all game modes. So, I mean, they're basically the safest characters to invest in if you're just not sure. But I also want to caveat by saying this, guys. Just because this event does go live in a couple of hours here, it doesn't mean you have to bring these characters up the moment you level up to 101 or 102. Remember, we still have the full duration of this event. So, you know, you don't have to have 100 million gold right now. You don't need to have thousands of training materials right now. This event is going to be here for the next month, so we can be patient, we can be strategic, and we can be smart about this, right? I'm probably going to do a recap video on the characters that I have officially pushed up based on my priorities in the game, but there's going to be safe choices, obviously, but just know that you don't have to do it right away because the event is here for a little bit, so we can actually take the time to review our resources and actually make that meaningful decision. Maybe you change your mind later on, right? But yeah, I think these are going to be some of the safest characters to invest in. I also want to point out, and I've pointed this out in all my past videos as well, but you want to take advantage of some of the dual traded characters. So the most obvious one here that's a standalone team is actually Spire Society. They're like the first dual trade team that we've ever seen in the game. Peter B. Parker being both Bio and Skill. We have Penny Parker being City and Skill. Or sorry, Skill and Tech. I mixed that up. We have Spider-Man Noir being Mystic and Skill. We have Ghost Spire being Bio and Skill. And then last but not least, we have Pav being Bio and Skill. So by leveling these 5 characters, they're going to be counting as 10 characters in the milestone. So that right there is already half the gold and half the training investments. And guess what? They're a very, very relevant team right now, especially since they're required for Orcus raids. Hopefully in the future that still stands to be the case. But yeah, guys, if there's anything to take away, just know that this is going to be kind of that strong standalone team in terms of being able to maximize the value for this event. Now, I just want to quickly run through my teams because I've been getting asked this quite a bit, so I just want to quickly go through the ones that were the top 10, and I try to recap this every single month. They're based on my priorities, which is the PvE content. PvE content being raids, that we're doing them daily, Dark Dimension, we're doing arenas. Those 3 things are going to get you the ultimate value in the game because of the strongest and most powerful characters coming into your arsenal and roster. The fact that they're needed every single day, especially raid teams, and as well, arena generating power cores, right? So there's a couple of standouts that we obviously want to point to, but I'm also going to mention ones that maybe we should lean away from just because of the being mindful of the meta change, right? So the top 10 teams are going to be focused on that content, but you can see here in the very first row, Unlimited X-Men, Extreme X-Men with Old Man Logan is the best variant, but to be honest, I do feel like the mutants are on the way out. I would caution building up this team beyond 101 and beyond, with the exception of Old Man Logan, because of the fact that he is one of those god tier characters I pointed out. So I would actually pause on this one, actually. We have Night Stalkers for respectively the Mystic section, right? We know we're going to be needing them likely in the next rendition of Orcus raids. So this is a good one, I think, in my honest opinion. But would I put them on the priority list? Not yet. We need to see what the next raid looks like. But if you guys are wanting to have an easier time in the raids, this one would make sense. Spire Society, already talked about them. They're easily the no-brainer, especially if you want to maximize 105. Another strong Arsenal team in the Orcus for this tech team is the fact that they're also, once again, they're actually one of the newest teams in the game. So I do feel like they're safer than the other options. If you want to build them up next to Spire Society, I don't think that would be the wrong call here. We have Hive Mind with Super Skrull variant as the best version of this team. Hive Mind, similarly to the Mutants for Extreme, are on the way out. So this one I would also be very, very cautious on investing in, especially for the 5 bio characters here. We don't really know what the landscape of the next raid is going to be, so I would just pause right there. Maybe this is one of the ones that you want to hold back on just for that reason. We have other required teams that I've noted for legendary events, namely Old Man Logan requiring both Out of Time and Cabal. I do like Cabal because Cabal has a lot of value in many game modes, Crucible, War, as well as actually even Dark Dimension. So I think Cabal is going to be probably one of the safer ones. And the fact that they can always mix and match with 2 other villains that make them into a more fuller complete team, I think it's going to be safer. But again, Out of Time and Cabal, even at their current levels right now, was able to get me the 7 yellow Logan. So I would be cautious here. Very, very good teams. But you can see I already stopped investing in Out of Time because they're really just meant for defense for my war, right? Then you have Illuminati and Annihilator. So again, both required for the Shadow King trials. Now, the one I do want to point out is that I think there's going to be more focus here on bringing up, characters like Gore, Thanos Endgame, and Gladiator, because they're actually used day in, day out in my arena. They're used in my arena bracket, so I know these 3 characters are likely the ones I'm probably pushing up, just because I want to stay competitive in my arena bracket. Illuminati, on the other hand, namely Crucible and War value, so I probably will not, just because, like I said, I have more focus on the PvE content, so I'm probably going to pause there. I have a Zombie, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Doom, Kestrel highlighted here, because these 3 characters do count as dual trait, so if you want to bring them up to 105, as for the value, it's not great, but it's just dabble in the fact that they can save you some resources as well as gold, if you want to make sure that you're obviously taking advantage of that. And then I do have actually Alpha Flight on the very bottom here. Those other ones do not count. Alpha Flight here being on the bottom. And to be honest, I would actually hold back on Alpha Flight right now, just because of the fact that, they are actually doing pretty good work currently with both the Orcus and the Spotlight raid. So I don't know if I would focus on that too much, but I did want to bring them up because if you count the number of characters I've recommended already from the several teams that I pointed out in terms of priority, that is actually going to be roughly 14, 15 characters, which is enough to get you the 3 Omega Red. So hopefully this is helpful, guys. Those are kind of the ones I'm focused on. Spire Society, my arena team, as well as likely the Orcus tech team, because that's going to get my number to where I need to actually unlock Omega Red at the 3 stars red there. So again, I'll link my video below if you guys want a little bit more context on what I'm referring to in terms of the point breakdown. But otherwise, that's my game plan, guys. Let me know what you think in comments below if I missed anything. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.